What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another HR Heretics segment. This one's going to be on the vibe shift in tech. So I'm going to have our producer, Nat, play a video for you all of TikTok. Nat, take it away.
Whatever happened to those day in the life working in tech vlogs?
It's because we all got laid off, honey. I worked at Spotify in 2019. It was my first job out of college. I was so excited. Like, it was my dream to move to New York City and just like live that like Carrie Bradshaw lifestyle. And we got so many amazing perks when I worked at Spotify. We got free food, free breakfast, lunch, and sometimes we would get dinner too. We would get free concerts. We would get free international trips to Sweden. There were just so many perks, and now all those perks have completely disappeared. Not to mention, I also got laid off from my job, but that's a story for another day. And that wasn't the only layoff I had. I also worked at Uber right after Spotify as a marketing manager, and I got laid off from that job too. As someone who studied engineering in college, like I went to like one of the best schools for engineering. Like I was the only woman who graduated in my class. Like I expected more out of my life. Like I thought I would be like, making $300K at this point in a full-time job with like a lot of benefits. But for a lot of my friends, this is not the case anymore. You do not want to work in tech actually, because you are probably going to have your job replaced by AI or replaced by something down the line, because now all they want to do is just cut on costs. But yeah, the tech industry is so fucked, so fucked. And I just don't think anyone should join tech right now.
All right, Kelly. So, summarizing the video, a few years ago, we had all these TikToks of free lunches and sunbathing, at lunchtime and getting massages while you're at work. And now in tech, all of those things have changed, right? We've gone through this huge layoff wave, this huge cost-cutting wave. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, can we just pause? Sunbathing during lunch? Well, what is this?
There was that video of the product managers at Meta who were working by the pool.
Okay, sorry. Yes, I forgot. Nolan's younger than me. He watches videos all the time. I wasn't aware of this. Interesting. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't, what do you think? I've heard more in the last 2 years, the phrase, I hate tech, than I have in like the last 10 years from friends and colleagues in tech. And I just, what is this? Because I do think something's shifting out there. I don't know if it's burnout, if it's this, but folks are kind of crapping over the industry more recently. It's funny because it's correlated with kind of this macro shift. And I guess in my mind, it's correlated when things got hard. Right. And it wasn't kind of fun and games anymore. And it became, frankly, less fun. And so when things become harder and less fun and you don't like them, you tend right now to do them or not like them less. Right. It kind of shows who really loves it and who was kind of doing it for, the reasons that make sense, the financials, the exits, this and that's all shifted. So yeah, and then the video is interesting, and I've seen it a lot.
Look, I think it's a classic case of expectation setting. And look, if you were on the outside looking in at tech in 2016, what do you see? I mean, the internship movie, right? I was at Google when that movie came out, and it was an accurate reflection of what was happening every day. And
it's so funny. We did not talk about this before this, but I was just thinking about that movie in my mind. We were just mind melding.
It's
Silicon
an
Valley
accurate reflection,
right?
It happened. Yes, those things happened. Like the reason why they're funny is because they were true.
Hey everyone, we'll be right back in a moment after a word from our sponsors. Your workforce is both your organization's greatest strength and largest single cost. With Planful, it's easy to unlock the secrets of successful workforce planning so you and your HR team can make the right business decisions. Imagine using data-driven insights to develop accurate forecasts, close hiring gaps, and adjust talent acquisition plans collaboratively based on costs today and into the future. Planful lets you collaborate with colleagues in finance to understand the value your employees bring to the table. And the best part, you can get started with Planful in just weeks with minimal help from IT. Plus, with Planful, you get an endless runway. Planful grows with you, no matter how fast or large your team scales. Ready to transform your HR strategy? Join over 1,500 organizations worldwide who trust Planful as their go-to workforce planning software at planful.com/heretics.
And so you have this generation, especially that's coming up, and maybe they're a couple of years out of school, and this has been the thing that has been fed into their brain of how it actually is. And then the other thing is, we tend to look at the grittiness with this rose-colored lens. So when we say Apple was founded in a garage and Google was founded in a garage, we're not thinking like it's poorly lit, there's like rats in the corner. It's kind of like, oh, there's this really cool vibe going on and we're going to build a $1 billion company. And I just think what we're going back to now is Silicon Valley's roots and tech's roots. Like, it is a gritty place. These are gritty people. The thing with tech that is true is that if you look at many successful entrepreneurs, they tend to be immigrants. They tend to be grinders who are putting in tons of time to bring their vision into reality. And I think this is unfortunately a case to where our society and where media has laid out a picture that is untrue. That, tech is this cushy job that pays super well and increasingly well as time goes on, just because they've invented money printers. When what's actually happening now is that reality is setting in. It's hard to build business, especially in a capitalist environment, to where competition will come for your profits. And so not only do you have this macro change, you have real competition from all over the place. And now companies are getting serious about building lasting businesses. And so a lot of these perks that were, frankly, I think widely heralded are going away, and the real time is back.
Yeah. And I mean, there's been, there's a lot of young people in tech, right? Earlier generations, first job, second job. And because of the long chain of great times in tech, largely those movies, they were true for them. Right. This is arguably the first time in many folks' careers in tech where it's been not fun. Right. It has not been easy for kind of the first time. And you saw that video, almost like an entitlement or expectation that I'm going to be safe, fat, happy, make a bunch of money, maybe not have to work super hard. And this truth is hitting for the first time for a lot of people. And I think that, I empathize because it's like, what just happened here, right? That it's not easy. It's not a fun thing.
They got rug pulled.
Very much rug pull. So I'm not coming down because it's hard. I do empathize. But I think that a lot of people are going through the transition. And I feel like if you actually don't like it, if it's not something that you get energy from and that you wake up and want to do it, you're not going to want to do it when it's not fun, fat, happy, and easy. So I do think it's accelerating a lot of these people actually out of tech, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. Right?
It's a good question. I think it's a really good point that if you could survive this period, then you really want to be here. And you really want to be part of building the future. Yeah.
And other guests have said it, right? This will create better leaders. I had colleagues over at my house last week and we were talking about this. This will create more responsible individual contributors. This will create humans and talent. It doesn't matter what level or what role. I think the mindset's going to be better coming out of this. And maybe the pool of folks is less because a lot of folks will exit tech and whatnot, which is fine. But I think what I'm saying is I think the next chapter will have a more reasonable kind of mindset than I guess the last 10 years.
Yeah, my high school baseball coach used to say, adversity breeds character. And I think that's the moment we're in right now, is that we are dealing with a lot of adversity. It's been brutal for the last almost 3 years now in tech.
Yes.
And if you're still here, and if you are still surviving, and if you're still in the game, this will make you better. This time period will make you a better leader. It will make you a better IC. You will understand how to deal with hard times. It's just we're living in this moment right now, and we've been rug pulled. Like, especially this younger generation, the expectations have shifted dramatically underneath their feet. And as much as I empathize with them, you know, as Jensen Huang said, who's the CEO of NVIDIA, when he said, "I wish you pain and suffering," what he was really getting at is that pain and suffering will ultimately lead you to be a better version of yourself. You will be able to deal with a lot more than you currently think that you can. And a lot of these practices, these perks that big tech had, I think made us a little bit soft. And removing that softness is a bit painful, but on the other side of it is going to be much better people. And that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. I think there will be better teams out of this, better execution, better focus, better perspective, right? And not taking things for granted. And running again, more responsible businesses. I think it got a little unwieldy out there for a while.
Yeah. So the vibe shift is on.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think we're towards this. I think we're about to reach stasis. It does feel like stasis is starting to get reached, and the new expectations, I think, appear pretty clear to everybody who's currently in the game. So let us know what you guys think. So grateful for your listenership. Kelli, it's almost been a year. Can you believe that?
That's crazy. I can't believe that.
So
I can't believe it's almost been a year.
Yeah. Turpentine hasn't fired us yet.
Really.
Thanks, Eric, for keeping us around.
Thanks all.
But most importantly, thank you all for listening. We appreciate you all. HR Heretics is a podcast from Turpentine, the network behind Econ 102, Moment of Zen, and Turpentine VC. Subscribe, 5 stars, share it on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts, all the things.
Real talk, most talent leaders haven't yet cracked how to leverage AI for meaningful impact on their hiring processes and business goals. But the leaders who are effectively using AI to transform their recruiting team's efficiency and quality use Metaview. Metaview is the AI assistant for the interview process. Their AI records and transcribes hiring conversations, like intakes, interviews, and debriefs, then provides perfectly summarized notes of everything that was discussed. That means your people can focus on creating human connections with candidates during calls and save time on the busy work of cleaning up notes after every interview. But it's so much more than just a time saver, because perfect notes means perfect data. For every candidate in every pipeline, hiring teams can make confident, informed decisions, and talent leaders can finally take control of the interview process. Join forward-thinking talent leaders at high-performing organizations like Brex, HelloFresh, and Quora, and check out Metaview. Head over to metaview.ai/heretics to talk to one of Metaview's product experts, or get started for free. You'll be up, running, and AI-enabled in minutes.
Here's a crazy stat. Between hybrid and frontline employees, about 80% don't typically work in an office. So it's no surprise that digitally engaging employees is the #1 concern for CEOs as companies go hybrid. But as hybrid is quickly becoming the norm, it's easy for workplaces to start feeling a little less human. Yet delighting a digital workforce is possible, and it can even be, dare we say, fun. That's where WorkVivo, Zoom's employee experience platform, comes in. If you've ever recoiled at the thought of a static intranet that looks like something you built in 1995 using MS Paint, have no fear. WorkVivo is a dynamic, intuitive, accessible, and mobile-first tool. People actually like using it, which is why companies like Ryanair, Dollar General, Virgin, and more have rolled it out to hundreds of thousands of employees. WorkVivo's activity feeds, spaces, shoutouts, and live streams, among other features, help elevate the employee experience like never before. The result? Dramatically better retention, productivity, and most importantly, connectedness. A greater sense of the belonging we all crave at work, whether we sit at a desk or drive a truck. Make WorkVivo the digital heart of your organization and achieve limitless human connection. Head to workvivo.com to book a demo and make sure you tell them that Nolan and Kelli from HR Heretics sent you.